There's an interesting phenomenon that happens in every atypical or quote unquote weird person's life that I feel like many people, including myself, like to call the great shift. Now, to give some context on what the great shift is, it's basically when niche passions, hobbies, and interests that once condemned and prevented us from partaking and engaging freely without constraint and without restrictions in a society that shunned us and excommunicated us or like blacklisted us, for merely conversing with like-minded individuals and for simply living in alignment with who you truly are. And it pushed you to lurk deep in the shadows, like you were some rat, and shadows you don't dare whisper aloud for fear of ridicule and judgment. Now you must be wondering, where does the great shift come into play? Let me tell you. No one knows how exactly it happens, when exactly it happens, but suddenly those same interests that you had, that you were ridiculed for, start becoming more and more popular, and then it hits mainstream. It's been happening since the dawn of time. We've seen it with music bands. We've seen it with alternative edgy fashion. We've seen it with comic books and superheroes. We've seen it with anime and cosplaying conventions. We've seen it with food, drinks. We've seen it with K-pop. We're even seeing it with furries. Now, yeah, you can like what you like, but deep down, deep in the pits of our soul, we can't help but feel a little bit of resentment and bitterness towards the masses because, for lack of better words, that shit isn't fair. It isn't fair. It just isn't fair. Then from there, you start to see what I like to call the name 3 complex, where it's basically, oh, you're wearing a t-shirt from that band? Name 3 songs. Oh, you're into anime? Name 3 underground anime right now. Give me 3 shows right now. Which I will admit I have been guilty of. But please, before you cast your stones, let me explain. You know what it was to have to watch anime on YouTube in the smallest, tiniest corner with some sort of crazy dynamic background and the anime itself being on 2x speed because of copyright infringement? We did not have the pleasure. We did not have the right to go and have on Netflix or Hulu and see a variety of different anime that they show today. Or better yet, you know how embarrassing it was to get caught playing Episode at school? Guys, I still play Episode to this day. I don't know. It's an addiction. I gotta work on it. But it's embarrassing. Or watching little Asian men pandering for a parasocial relationship that I was clearly falling for. Or having to explain to your parents why there's moaning coming from your screen. Imagine having to explain that to a religious, ethnic parent. It was not easy. It was not easy trying to be who I truly was, guys. It was difficult. There was literally nowhere that I felt like I could truly, authentically be myself. It took me a long time to even feel that way or truly be myself with my best friend. And she's almost as weird as I am. But I digress. I think I speak for us as a collective when I say there's like a bit of frustration when it comes to people enjoying things that we used to enjoy, but we've always felt confined and never being able to express ourselves freely, and seeing other people enjoy it openly and now everyone partaking in said trend. It can make you feel a little, I guess, resentful in a way. And not only that, but on an economic level. Now guys, I'm not saying I'm the first person to ever collect Pop Mart, but I've been here since 2018. I'm just saying. And now that it's a trend, the prices have skyrocketed like crazy. I cannot get a blind box for $8 anymore. And it's not just with Pop Mart, it's literally with everything that becomes a trend. We're literally seeing it with matcha right now. The prices of matcha now versus back in the day, and yeah, inflation and everything, but it also has to do with it becoming a trend. And don't even get me started on when they were trying to gentrify the mesh slippers. Don't piss me off right now. But that's a whole different video in itself. Now, why am I telling y'all this? And what exactly does it have to do with the title of the video? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. I am transformed and reborn again. Hallelujah! And yeah, I still get frustrated when people get opportunities that they don't care about or don't deserve, but I am no longer a gatekeeping bitter fangirl. Now, I'm just a bitter fangirl. And if the people want to partake in the ever-growing niche communities, why not put them on? Now, the sole purpose of the video. I'm not sure if it's just the way I've curated and personalized my feeds, my For You page, but I've been noticing an incline, a boom, if you will, of fujoshi and himejoshi culture and community as a whole. I myself have been a longtime member of the fellowship since I was a mere tot. Before I even knew the name of the acts that I was partaking in, that I was participating in willingly and excitedly. I think as a child, I've always gravitated towards media that featured and emphasized cross-dressing. Shows like Coffee Prince or Host Club, She's the Man. That was my favorite movie for the longest time, not even because of Channing Tatum, but because of the thought of Channing Tatum liking a man. Shows like Hanakimi, the ones who know, like this one's more of a niche one, and I've never met anyone else who've ever seen the show, but if you've seen the show, hit my line, we must be friends now. It's a show called Kenka Bancho Otome. I know I butchered the fudge out of that name. I loved it, and it's very dear to my heart nonetheless. And I feel like I've always sort of gravitated to those shows because essentially I could really justify it to my religious guilt-ridden heart, because really it's not a man liking another man, it's really a girl dressed as a man liking a man. So I don't know, it was just easier to justify to myself, but that didn't last very long, because deep down inside I like to see boys kissing boys and girls kissing girls. Is that such a crime? Seriously. See, Maddie knew who she was from a very early age. And as long as Maddie could remember, she knew exactly who she was. And that was not only a fujoshi, but also a himejoshi. Now, I have gathered you all here today. I have congregated you all here today because a little over a month ago, my nearest, dearest, closest friend, Andrea, she called upon me, if you will. And it was my duty to answer that call. And after that, it really gave me the thought that I need to use my platform, I need to use my reach, my influence, so that the babies of our congregation do not fall into the same traps that I once fell into for lack of leadership. Exhibit A and Exhibit B. Dark times. Dark times. Now, I'm gonna give you guys 4 recs in this video. 2 willa and 2 bulla. Just to get you started with and just to push you out the nest like a mama bird and her baby chicks, if you will. My seasoned veterans out there, if you're watching this video, this video really more caters to the babies of the congregation, because again, I want to push them to the right direction, and you have to start them little by little. You know, so our seasoned vets out there, if you have any recommendations, put them down in the comments. Okay, quickly before I start giving recommendations out, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to BL media / literacy, a lot of it tends to be like toxic. So I'm gonna try to give recommendations that are kind of wholesome and kind of light, because I do want this video to be more for like the people who are just starting to get into the community. And then as for the girl love stuff, it pisses me off to say that when it comes to like women loving women, for some reason, there's not as much as BL in my brain. The reason that I can come up for why this is a thing is because I feel like when it comes to men loving other men, it's taken more seriously than if women like other women. And that pisses me off, but like it's the only reason I can come up with. I feel like women's sexuality isn't taken as seriously as if a man liked another man. So there's not as much girl stuff, but nonetheless, there are really good girl loving girl stuff. Our first recommendation, a show, a novel, a comic, an anime, dear and near to my heart. Guys, y'all know I had to do it. I don't even have all the books, but y'all know I had to do it. I would honestly recommend getting into the books rather than the show, because I will say the books or the novel have more substance than the actual show, and that is due to censorship. But hey, you win some, you lose some. The show is still very, very good, but I will say that the show is more bromance based. I'm telling you, just give it a chance. It's on Netflix. It's so good, and it's such a good starter. Your typical grumpy sunshine type novel, your typical lay one finger on him and I'll hurt you, like your typical soulmates, like your typical, it's just so good. Give it a chance. To my babies, to my fellow newcomers to the community, please, I am begging you guys, give it a chance. Give it a chance. I promise you it will change your brain chemistry forever. If you really like the trope of reincarnation, if you really like the trope of found family, if you really like enemies to soulmates, guys, I recommend you. And it's also very light on the like spectrum of gayness in terms of overtly, but in subtext, there's so much gayness in there. Morally gray, love that. Sibling angst, love that, bro. When it comes, me and sibling angst, we're like this. If you love a good repressed feelings, and also like, it's not even just the gayness of it all. It's also like the storyline, the plot. It's so juicy. It's so fulfilling. And without giving anything away, each individual character and their own like subplot and character development, it's just so like, it really keeps you on your toes and it makes you want to watch the whole thing. But like, the gayness is a plus. The gayness is a plus, if I'm being honest. If you want the more explicit version, I recommend you check out the novel. But for like a light version, like dipping your toes into it, go ahead and check out the Netflix series. You will love it. I promise you will love it. This isn't part of my recommendations list, but since you're already watching The Untamed, I'm assuming, go ahead and go on to Word of Honor. Another great one. I'm telling you guys, China really does its thing when it comes to historical dramas. Let me tell you. So I do want to point out, I was going to suggest Thai BLs and like Thai GLs, but like I feel like that's a little how should I say, it's a little soon, if you will, for just starting off it. I feel like it's a little soon. If you guys want me to make a whole separate video on Thai BL and GL media, let me know, because I'm on that. My second recommendation, my first girl love recommendation, a manga called Love Bullet. And I'm gonna put the description on the screen. It's such a good freaking manga, guys. I really recommend you guys to get into it. It's a slow burn. It's unspoken feelings. It's so good, and it's such a refreshing and like, how should I say, like a nice concept, a different concept, if you will. If you're looking to get into manga and GL manga or Yuri, I really recommend it to you.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me.
I feel like Love Bullet is a Yuri novel that's for people that enjoy like tension, like emotional tension, sort of. Because I love a good will they, won't they. I love a good like speaking without there being words spoken. Hello. My ring broke. What the heck? No. My freaking ring broke. There's no way. There's actually no way. Anyways, like I was saying, I love a good, you can cut the tension with a knife. In the story, there's no like huge villain. There's no like dramatic twist in every chapter, but I feel like the conflict is the fear of intimacy, the fear of rejection, the fear of wanting someone too much. And it's something that I can sort of relate to, and it was just like a nice story to follow along with. It's a really good novel. It's a really good manga. You guys should really look into it if you're interested. Next recommendation, this one's a little touchy amongst the BL community, but I wanted to put an anime in there. And I know there are a lot of animes that have BL in it, but this one specifically has altered, like, I know I said that my first recommendation altered my brain chemistry, but the way, if you're ready to sob, if you're ready to rethink your entire life, Banana Fish. To our seasoned veterans in the congregation, in the fellowship, that have already suffered the pain of Banana Fish, I am really sorry for opening that wound up again. Matter of fact, let me bleep it out every time I mention it, but is such a good story, despite the pain that it brings, despite the doomed yaoi. It is such a good storyline. I'm gonna again put the description on the screen, but it's basically a mafia type anime. I will say heavy trigger warning when watching the show. It does have to do a lot with like explicit things and sexual natures and stuff like that. So I do want to mention that before you go and look up the show. Please beware. Is so beautiful, it's so brutal, it's so unforgettable. Really, it's the type of show that stays with you long after you finish watching it. You're gonna stare into the abyss for a good minute. This is another one where it's found family, love being a safety net in like such a violent, corrupt world, and overall it's just very emotionally charged. So if you're ready to watch something that will leave you emotionally scarred for the rest of your life, then I recommend you getting into Banana Fish, because at the end of the day, it's a really good storyline, it's a really good plot line, and I know I've said that for the majority of this video, but I wouldn't be recommending it to you if I didn't think it was, and I truly think it is. It's just very heavy, so just keep that in mind when you do go and watch it. For my last recommendation, I wanted to recommend a show, but truly I love me a good manga. So for my GL recommendations, they're just gonna be mangas, and then I guess for my boy loved ones, they're shows. So this one is called How Do We Relationship. Beautiful. It's so human, like it's so realistic. That's the word I was trying to say. It's really realistic. Again, I'll put the synopsis on the screen. It's about these two girls who get together not because they like each other or anything, but because they're curious and they're lonely, and they experience a lot of firsts in their relationship as women. They're basically trying to figure each other out or figure out themselves. And I feel like the manga is less about will they get together and more about are we compatible? Is love supposed to be this confusing? I feel like it's painfully realistic in communication issues and like awkward intimacy that feels human and vulnerable and not idealized, and characters who make mistakes without being the villain. And I feel like it's such a great story. I feel like this story isn't about like a perfect love. I feel like it's more about learning how to love and realizing sometimes love means letting go, and learning that growth doesn't come easily. But yeah, that was it. That was my 4 recommendations for you guys. I feel like this was a good list to push you guys in the direction of where you want to go. Let me know if you guys want me to make another video that's with recommendations that are more explicit and have more spice in them, because I'm down. I have hella recommendations for that one. This was my first ever time doing a video like this. It kind of scared me, not gonna lie, because it felt very video essay-y, and I feel like I'm not the best at expressing or articulating myself, so I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of editing and post, because I probably forgot some stuff that I wanted to say in the video. But yeah, that was it. Those were my recommendations. If you guys have recommendations for me, let me know. I know I didn't put a lot of stuff in here because again, I'm just trying to like push you guys into the right direction. But to my seasoned veterans out there, drop comments down below of recommendations, because I would love to know what you guys think. I would love to see what you guys are into and see if I haven't seen them, if I have seen them. And yeah, that was it. And before I go, I do have one more thing left to say. So roll the clip. You need to fujoshi and himejoshi out. We are losing one of the most important human things I believe that society has given birth to over time. And that is to be an expert, a savant, a lover of girls kissing girls and boys kissing boys. Sadly, we don't partake in gay activities anymore. Some of my favorite people growing up were fujoshis and himejoshis. There were people who were obsessed about seeing the same gender partake in romantic and intimate experiences. Whether that's Yuri on Ice, whether that's Number 6, whether that's Citrus, whether that's Yarichin B Club. I don't care what it is that gives you a lady boner and makes you feel good. If that's watching the new season of Heated Rivalry, if that's finding a super low-key link to AO3 from a bunch of random authors that no one's ever heard of before, we need you to be a fujoshi and himejoshi. If you're someone who is gay, if you're someone who is straight, if you're someone who just cares, we need you to care.